You know, I do these videos with the intention on giving my opinion and trying to be as close to right as possible. And I don't always get it. Of course, when you try to do this, you're not always going to get it. But majority of the time, I think I can say I'm right. And I think you guys would agree, which is why you guys keep coming back to listen to my takes on stuff. And even, even in basketball in the actual games, I'll point out things that I think you guys can see evidently too, and therefore you guys will come back and watch my content. One of the hardest things to do is to predict what's going on in the shadows when you're just a guy like me, an average, everyday, ordinary guy who has to go to work, raise a child, yada, yada, yada. But every once in a while, you will get validated. You will get validated. And today is one such day. For you see, YouTube faithful, I come bringing information to you that you guys may find quite interesting. So I was scrolling through Twitter and I noticed a couple people were sharing this one guy's comment. And the comment, which I'm going to paraphrase real quickly and translate for you guys. But the comment basically said the Pelicans have some deals in order to trade Brandon Ingram because Brandon Ingram wants to be traded. What? Wow. Now, I said before anybody else, when that contract was secured and in ink, I told everybody that trade kicker was there for a reason. I have been saying this since the ink was dried on the contract. Matter of fact, I was saying it before the contract ink had officially signed. I was saying it the minute they said he was going to do the deal, the 5-year deal with them. The contract wasn't even wet yet. It was just they had agreed he had to come in and sign the papers. So really, I have been saying this beforehand. Nobody else, no other reporter who has all the sources, nobody else gave you guys this information ahead of time except your boy. And now I got people, sharing this thing saying, okay, rumor has it they got some trades on the table for BI, and it's a fluid situation, so they can't really discuss it or talk about it at this time. And then I got another guy who's saying he spoke to some people and he heard similar things. Where there's smoke, there's fire, people. And then there was a couple weeks ago we heard that situation about BI and Stan Van where he was out there practicing shots and had the music blasting, and the staff came out there, asked him, Stan staff asked him to turn it down. He's like, no. And the Stan came out there, he was like, fuck you. If you have not heard that story, that was a story that was on Twitter about a month ago. And so when you combine that with the fact that in his exit interview, Bi spoke about talking to the front office about some changes and stuff. For all we know, he could have said, "Look, I'm not happy with the fuck y'all doing. Either we change this shit or I need to be traded, and these are the teams I like to go to." Hear me out on this shit. On this pimping real quick. Hear me out on this shit. Let's just work off the assumption that this is what happened. This invalidates every video or tape I had about Lonzo Ball for the most part. Because at this point, if they're going to trade Bi, they have to be getting somebody back who's going to be approximate, or they're going to have to get a bunch of pieces that just work with Zion better. Okay, fine. But now, as the front office, you got to ask the question: can we afford to lose Lonzo Ball? Because you see, Zion said him and Bi were going to work out all offseason, and that's probably true. Because I would like to think the Pelicans would not want to trade Bi, but it's possible they could trade him. And it is my job to try to sit here and explain what I think all could possibly be available, so that you guys can think about these things during your free time at your leisure. So there will always be a part of me that thinks, yes, there's a possibility that nothing happens and, they stay there and continue along the path. That is always an option. But if they were to trade Bi, there's a lot of teams that would be in the market for Brandon Ingram. Teams that also you probably wouldn't think about normally, like Golden State or Portland. And there's reports that have been coming out that CJ McCollum is a target for like the Knicks, Miami, and a couple other teams if they can't get Dame. So, hey, let's shoot for the stars. If we can't get the stars, then fuck it. Let's get the goddamn moon. Let's get the moon. If Brandon Ingram becomes available, I could see a trade package, Brandon Ingram for CJ McCollum and Nasir Little and a couple other pieces to make it work. I can see that. If you're the Knicks, maybe you consider a package centered around RJ Barrett, one of Zion's longtime friends. Okay, fine, we got to get rid of Zion, but let's get him back with his boy, and it's younger, and it kind of actually resets the length of time we have a little bit, and so we got both of them, and we can just build around both of them. Makes sense. Or maybe Miami decides they want to give up Tyler Hero or sign a trade with Duncan Robinson to get both of them for Brandon Ingram. I'm just throwing stuff out here. I'm just giving you guys examples. I'm not saying this stuff is going to happen. Just trying to make sense out of this. People been talking about they want Miles Turner and stuff from and Malcolm Brogdon from Indiana. Maybe you can go give them Brandon Ingram. And you can get both of those guys. Or maybe you could just do a trade with him and Caris LeVert. There's tons of teams out here that I could throw out here that got stuff, that they could work with. Maybe one of these teams like Detroit, who's going to have like a top 3-4 pick in the draft, say, look, we'll trade you our pick if you give us Bi. Whoa! Now you mean to tell me the Pelicans got a top 1 to 4 pick for Bi? Oh, man. Cade Cunningham? What's the other guy's name? Jalen Suggs? It's like 4 guys in that draft that have like MVP superstar level potential. Allegedly. So, I'm just saying. If you're going to be dead set on staying as the coach, This will be your time to build the way you want. He get complete say in how they draft. I mean, you're gonna run point in Zion, right? If you're gonna run point in Zion, you really don't need Cade. So that Jalen Suggs character might be, pretty good for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just throwing some things out here, guys. Don't take this literal. But who knows? Maybe a team like Washington decides, you know what, we might be willing to give you Bradley Beal for Brandon Ingram. We might be able to do that deal. Zion and Bradley Beal, okay. Pelicans got what they want. Maybe you decide to re-sign Lonzo for 20 a year, 21 at 88, 85 million, because now you got someone to pass to. You need a secondary playmaker. And you got a scorer out there. Okay, you can put Jackson Hayes at center. You might even coerce them into taking a Steven Adams contract or a Bledsoe contract with BI. That might be one of the things. And so you get more back. Like, okay, we'll ship BI, but you got to also take the Bledsoe contract, which he's only got 1 year left, so it'll be a whole lot easier to trade this year. Could work out pretty good. You know what? How about this one, guys? Jaylen Brown for Brandon Ingram. I've also seen some reporter mention that they may want to take a look at Steven Adams. Well, now you can get rid of Steven Adams in there. We'll give you B.I. and Steven Adams. Give us Jaylen Brown and whoever the fuck. What's the guy's name? Patrick Williams. I think it's that guy's name, that rookie they got. He's like a power forward center. He was actually doing a hell of a job on Zion in that one game that they played. Especially late in the game. All kinds of options are afforded to you. And I gotta tell y'all, man. Woo! If Brandon Ingram truly requested a trade, he went from being happy as fuck and having his new home in New Orleans to, in the span of 1 year, hey, fuck these niggas. Like, straight facts. How bad do you have to be to alienate one of your all-star level players that you got in the draft, got in a trade for another all-star level player? Like, within 1 year and everything's good. Or maybe everything wasn't good. Maybe he felt real disrespected. He didn't get his max. And so he accepted his new contract. But maybe he wasn't happy about it. And then this year just really degraded how he felt. Because honestly, B.I. basically to me was the same player as he was last year, just with less space. Which to me means he improved. But you can't really tell he improved because the numbers don't show he improved. If you just look at his numbers from last year to this year, it's like, okay, he's basically around what he was. But when you factor in the fact that his shots was tougher because they had no spacing and he had to work harder, you really, for all we know, B.I. could have been a guy to put up 26, 27 a game, and we didn't see it this year because of spacing. Because of spacing. This shit is ridiculous. This shit is motherfucking ridiculous. All I gotta say is, this is some funny shit. Because I told y'all Lonzo motherfucking ass wasn't happy. And I could read that nigga body language. And I thought something was up the way B.I. and Zion were talking in the background. I said, them niggas had talk. Them niggas had talked for real. They've been talking. Follow the tea leaves, my guys. Follow the tea leaves. I ain't gonna do too much speculation here, though. I mentioned some teams, and there's obviously I can make a long list of teams all over the league that would want Brandon Ingram. I could even find a way to make the Phoenix Suns want Brandon Ingram if I wanted to. Dallas Mavericks, my team, could definitely use Brandon Ingram. The Atlanta Hawks, Orlando Magic. There's not a team just about in the league that would not take a Brandon Ingram at this point. Only team maybe you would take an exception to is like Brooklyn. Because they don't have anything to give up unless they give up one of their star players. Toronto, like all these teams, and the funny thing is they would have to give up stuff they already have to get Brandon Ingram. And I'll tell you what, the Pelicans would definitely have a selection of guys due to Brandon Ingram that could basically ask for almost anybody on one of those teams. But I don't want to go too deep. Again, this is all speculation. But it's starting to pop up. 2-3 weeks ago, we got Pelicans certain guys don't like playing for Stan or don't like Stan. Then we got Brandon Ingram allegedly had requested for a trade. It wouldn't surprise me in the next couple weeks if we hear something about Josh Hart, Lonzo, hell, even Zion himself. Because I will say this. If B.I. requested a trade, the same thing applies to when I said about Lonzo talking to the others. He talked to them niggas. He talked to Zoe. He talked to Zion. So they know what's up. And obviously they know the Pimpers, so they're not going to say shit. But if he requested a trade, there's going to be something else coming with that. Either from Lonzo or from Zion. Mark my words. Y'all have a good one. Peace.